Hello, and welcome to episode 33 of the M&T podcast. I am M.
I'm T.
We are M&T. This is a stupid little podcast where we basically, for 33 consecutive weeks now, have sat, had a drink, talked shit, answered some questions, and that's pretty much it.
And we live in Ibiza, by the way.
We do, yeah. If for any miracle you're tuning in and you didn't know, we live in Ibiza. We talk about Ibiza quite a lot, actually, in this pod, don't we? What else do we talk about?
We talk about the C word again when we weren't supposed to. What else? I have no idea. We talk a lot about my work and about Clubhouse.
I know. Well, I can name this podcast now: Clubhouse, vaccines, gin and tonic.
Done.
All right, well, thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoy the episode. You do need to make sure that you stay tuned until the end so that you know a little task for you to send a little emoji to us, and there's a good reason why you're going to want to do that. So we'll see you in there, I guess.
See you in the episode.
See you in the episode.
Hello, mate.
Hello, Poppet.
How is it going?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not too shabby, thanks.
It is
podcast over.
Finished. We're done. That's it for the week. I've been looking forward to this pod this week.
I have. Do you know why?
Why?
Drin.
Drin? Drinks and gin merged together for those of you.
If you could get to pouring.
Okay, I'll get to pouring.
I don't move.
We are obviously well known on this pod for being all about the rosé, but we haven't done that for a while.
No, because it's not summer. Soon.
It feels, yeah, we're going to talk about the weather because we're British. But for today, Cactus and Lime Lone Wolf Gin.
Yes, Cactus and Lime. That is the last of the Lone Wolf Gin. I'm telling you that now. Apart from the special bottles. That is the last of the gin that we have in this house. All three of your decanters are empty.
I know, I feel as if...
Oh. Alright, might as well. That's okay.
In for a penny, in for a pound. Fuck it. I didn't think they were going to be that strong.
That's those bottles, and it's Tonic Zero as well. So let's get interesting.
I want to talk about this gin.
Okay, well I'll pour the tonics. You talk about this.
So we, as Tiffler has just said, and as many people will know, we did a big BrewDog order just before Christmas, including gins, and so we got. The regular Lone Wolf Gin, but we also got this, the Cactus and Lime Lone Wolf Gin. I think this is the best gin I've ever had.
Did we discuss this after a boozy lunch?
It was our Sunday roast that we had a couple of weeks ago, and we had some friends round.
So yeah, boozy lunch.
Thank you very much, and cheers.
Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
Yeah, we talked about it, and weren't we saying it's like a soft drink?
Well, because the gin itself has got the lime flavour in it, and honestly that is probably the best gin tonic I have ever had. It's
delicious, and now it's gone, so don't get too hell-bent on it. So any visitors it's
been a while since somebody sponsored the pod. If anybody fancies either sending us more of this, YouTube.
If anyone knows anyone at BrewDog that wants to sponsor a really cool podcast,
it's about time we were sponsored.
Really awesome podcast.
It's about time we were sponsored. Anyway, yeah, here's to the weekend. Here's to episode 34.
Is that what it is?
Of the M&T podcast.
Wow, we're almost at 35.
Is it 34? Now I don't know.
It's 33, mate.
It's 33?
I think it's 33. I'm going to have to check, but...
it's because I made a mistake last week.
Count.
Last week I said it was 33, but it was actually 32, and that's put me all disquiveled.
Disquibbled?
Yeah.
This is episode 33.
Oh dear. Episode 33. All right.
Yeah. How's your week been, love?
My week's been okay. Like I said, I've been looking forward to the pod this week.
For why?
Because I like sitting down and having a bit of a chat with you.
Yeah, to be fair... 5 minutes before this podcast was set up and we pressed record, I had headphones on watching RuPaul's Drag Race and you were watching Lost on TV.
Yeah.
So we haven't actually spoken for at least an hour and a half.
Yeah, and I I mean, we talk
I
a
missed
lot,
you.
and we talk. Well, yeah, it's like we go for a walk every day, and we usually have a good natter when we go for a
That's
walk.
a proper talk. Like
Yeah, we
that's-
talk work stuff, and we
do
tend
work
to
stuff,
talk business.
We just do life stuff.
But you know, like there's, I would say this week has had its ups and downs in terms of sort of like motivation, mental health, just kind of whether or not I've like felt really,
yeah,
you know, I had a bit of
day.
not a bad day, but a meh day.
Yeah.
And part of, I think, what helped me feel good and optimistic was
It's
I knew
me.
that the pod was coming
Oh.
and you, obviously. But I enjoy our chats. I tend to get to the end of every pod and go, like,
That was good.
it's even though we do just talk shit, I enjoy it.
I was a bit meh this morning, and then we went for a walk, and that helped. I also ate lunch, and that helped. So I don't know. I never know what it is with me.
Don't know whether it's
Could be hunger.
Does she just need to be fed? Does she
Or
need
solar
to be
powered.
Does she need a walk, or does she need to be left alone?
Does she need a walk, or does she
Yeah,
need food?
you are. It is like having a pet.
A
Yeah,
cute
does she
puppy.
need feeding or walking? And I mean, sometimes both. Yeah. No, I think generally it's been a good week for sort of the things that we do each week for work, for fitness routines and things like that. It's been an okay week. But as with everyone, I think at any time you have ups and you have downs, and there's been a mixture of that.
It is the end of the third week in January.
Isn't that notoriously the hardest time
It
for
was
people
Blue
anyway?
Monday on the Monday just gone. So
Yeah.
everyone's like, if anyone's feeling kind of mental healthy this week, like they need some time,
Yeah.
or they just need to not talk to anyone for a while, or they need to talk to someone for a while.
Yeah.
Like this kind of week is the one to reach out to somebody, or you know, actually talk to somebody, because like they say, like it's the biggest suicide in men killer day week.
It is. It's awful, isn't it? I mean, even if you don't go as dramatic as that, it is just known as the week that most people feel a little bit shit. The weather's at its worst. You're the furthest from a payday that you'll ever be.
I just saw a tweet before we came on here, and it was like, shout out to everyone who hasn't been paid since December.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's just like, oh my God, that's so true. It feels so long
Yeah,
ago. Like
yeah.
people who get salaried, like it does feel like a long time ago, because a lot of people get paid early for Christmas.
You get paid early in December.
Then
you spend
not
it all.
everybody, but a lot of people. Then you spend it all on the last minute Christmas presents, or paying back the credit card that bought the Christmas presents and stuff like that. And so actually, it can easily be a 5 or 6 week month.
And that's in a normal
and
year. That's when there's not a pandemic going on.
exactly. Let's not talk about that. I'm done talking. Our whole walk today, we talked about the pandemic and the idiocy of some people.
Yeah.
And I'm not here for it anymore.
No, we try to avoid the C word.
Yep, which we talked about last week.
Yeah,
so
and
let's
we're
just
gonna
not.
do it this week.
But yeah, this week has been a week. You did have your meh day, and I just go, "Are you all right?" And you go, "Nah, I'm not sure." And I'm just like, "Cool, let me know what you need."
Yeah. But I think it's actually quite good that now I will just say, no, it's not a great day today. So many people put a brave face on,
And
I
that's
think,
what's
and
different.
go,
You're like, "Oh, I'm fine," or
yeah,
actually,
I'm all right, and but
yeah, because actually I would, in a normal day, I'd be like, right, let's go for a walk, let's do this. The bathroom needs cleaning, like this, do you want to help me with dinner, this. And actually, if you just go to me on a day I'm not feeling it, I'm like, do you care about getting your steps in today? No. Do you want to do anything? No. And that's fine, I'll just leave you on the sofa and I'll go do the things I need to do, and then I'll come and make dinner and we'll just
it's
sofa
funny,
it.
on those types of days, just simply like, because we always talk to each other like, what do you want to achieve today? Like, what are your, like, we do
What's
talk
the
to,
plan?
and we do that every day. We do it at the end of every day of also like, what do you want to achieve tomorrow? And, you know, what can I do for you tomorrow? It's weird that on one of those meh days, just being asked like, so what's your plan today, can be a sort of thing that sort of twangs the anxiety a little bit.
Twangs.
It's hard to describe, but it sort of can like pique the, actually I don't want to, like, don't ask me what I want to achieve today, because I don't want to achieve anything, and I don't want to feel guilty about not achieving anything today. I just want today to happen. Tomorrow's another day.
But the difficulty in that is we do normally start every day with what's your plan today?
Yeah.
And I'm normally up, gym, showered, and at the desk kind of before you're up and ready and stuff like that. So normally you make the first coffee, and then I'm out the shower, and then we talk about it. But like that doesn't give me enough time to know kind of how you are. So I might naturally go, right, what's your plan? What's going on today? And then you kind of know, because you just go, and I'm just like, okay, cool. And then you just I go into autopilot and get everything done for the day.
It's weird that, but regardless of that, and that was just one day. That was what,
Thursday?
day before yesterday?
Thursday, like it was Thursday.
I actually do think it's been a good week. It's week 3 of my fitness routine. It's going very well. Work's doing well. The weather's getting better in Ibiza.
It is getting warmer.
And despite like sort of the Ibiza lockdown getting stricter and stuff, it doesn't, like, we're not really being affected by that. We're just cracking on with life. And I feel pretty good about that.
And this is what we discussed today. Like, actually, for our goals, a lockdown kind of helps.
Yeah.
Because we're not going out to eat. We're not going out drinking. We're not, we can't see anybody. So we're not, because normally when we see our friends, we eat and drink.
Yeah.
And so actually, it's quite helpful for our goals.
Yeah. So putting a positive spin on an otherwise quite negative time is doing all right for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gym's going well.
Have you bartered anything this week?
No, I don't think I have.
Have you thought about bartering anything this week?
I don't actually think I have. I don't think I've had time.
I do look at our local barter community, which I feel as if we want to talk about on the regular, because it's that good.
It is very good.
There's a local lady who makes all natural soap, doesn't she? And if anybody has checked on our socials, in January we made the decision to move away from plastic bottled shampoo and conditioners and shower gels, and we've bought all natural soap. Very, very hippie.
It's not hippie.
It is hippie. People will be listening to that going, oh, what about my L'Oreal?
Do you know what we've done? We've bought soap.
Yeah.
And we've bought shampoo bars, which you can buy in Lush.
They're really good.
Global chain of hippie stores.
Yeah.
But it's just the shampoo and conditioner bars and a soap bar. A soap bar that you can get anywhere, but actually one that's nice.
Yeah. No, they are nice. And there's a lady, a local lady who makes her own.
Yeah.
And she's willing to sort of...
What's soap made from?
It's like wax and fats.
Isn't that a candle?
I don't know. What's the difference between a candle and a bar of soap?
No idea. I bet you could melt a soap.
I bet you could just stick a wick in a soap, and also you could take a candle in the shower with you and just rub it on you.
Weird.
Let us know in the comments below on YouTube, or if you're a soap maker or a candlestick maker. Just let us know. But anyway, there's a local lady and she was bartering it, and I was thinking, well, because I make quite a good soup, I could trade soap for soup.
Natural soap for all natural soup.
For my all natural soup.
Your soup is lovely. It's very winter warming.
It is.
I don't have to sit by the fire today because it's actually relatively warm.
Here's an exciting update for you folks. We have changed our thermostat in our house on the central heating down a degree, because we don't. The central heating doesn't need to be working quite as hard.
You're wearing a t-shirt, love.
I know, and jeans with holes in. Dare I say it? Spring is round the corner.
Spring is sprunging. What?
It's not.
No, it's really
bloody
bloody windy, to be fair.
Yeah.
The weather is getting warmer, and it's going to hit 19 degrees next week, and that's exciting.
It is.
Yeah.
That's our weather talk. How's work going for you, my love?
Yeah, good actually this week. We've had a bit of a uptake. We've had a bit of some more people come on board. I work with words, ladies and gentlemen.
You wouldn't think it, but she is a writer.
No, what did I say in the shop yesterday? And I said differentiate. I was talking about vegetables, I think.
No, it wasn't just differentiate. You said we need some differentiation.
Yeah.
And I said, you mean variety.
Same thing. Differentiation.
And what you meant was we need to buy some different vegetables.
I actually think I was talking about chicken. I was on about sausages.
We need some differentiation. Anyway, I've got Tiff the writer. How's work?
Good. I have been writing some blog posts this week, and I have a new client and I've got my old clients, so it's all going well. And I wrote a blog post literally this morning about the new social media platform that there now is, which is called Clubhouse.
I always think these things. You've just said this new social media. How long has it been around for? Is it new, or have we just found it? Sometimes I think we sound like old people.
Late 2020.
Because my nan would say, "Oh, I found this new thing called Twitter."
No, late 2020, I believe.
Okay, cool. What's Clubhouse then?
Clubhouse is an audio-only social media. So you go on, and if you can get on, because it is invite only at the moment.
Very exclusive.
That's right, I'm in.
So am I.
Just because I invited you.
I know, but I'm in.
And it's audio only, so you go into these chat rooms. But like, if you think about what House Party was, when you went into rooms of tons of people, well, however many people are allowed, but it's no video, it's just people having a conversation. But what's the really like big thing about it, and that why people are loving it, is that like big celebrities are on it. So you've got people like Drake in a conversation about...
Who's he?
in a conversation about how to market your music. Or you've got Gary Vee doing a chat about anything, because I think he's doing 1 million. I followed Grant Cardone this morning, who's the 10X Rule guy. And he has been in 3 or 4 different chats today, because I've got the notification every single time.
So you sort of invited me to this morning, and I had a quick look and stuff. So forgive my naivety. I haven't looked massively at it. I've just signed myself up.
I've known about it since this morning.
Excellent. But when you look at things, you don't stop looking at it until you know it inside out.
That's true. I've been on it all day.
I looked at it for 3 minutes and went, okay, fair enough. And Tiff will tell me about this when I need to know more about it. You sort of said earlier to me that it's got potential to almost be, because like you say, it's just talks, like you could almost host live podcasts or live conversations on it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a live conversation, because nothing is recorded on there, and actually once the conversation's over,
it's gone.
It's over for good.
Oh, okay.
So it's like being on a really good group phone call, but only
conference calls, but fun.
Yeah, but like it's like a panel chat. So say you like dance music, and 4 or 5 DJs and a record label were having this chat about how to get into being a DJ. You can go in that room and listen in, or you can tap one of the buttons, and that means you raise your hand, which means you want to ask. You can have
interaction and Q&A.
But the way that you ask your question, it's voice only. So they will go, your turn next, like you'll get informed, and then they bring you up to the stage, and you physically ask your question with your voice, like you're talking to... You're really hammering this home. I do understand what talking out loud means. I know, but people will be like, do you message your question in? There's no way to DM anyone. There's no way to write a message. Talking. You get invited up to stage. You ask your questions, like being on Oprah, and then they will answer your question live.
Nice.
So you can physically be talking to someone like Gary Vee or Drake or whoever else is on the platform. And what's cool about it, like there's things on there. There's like a whole marketing kind of group on there, not group, but a whole marketing section of it all. And you can go on there and share your Instagram account, and these marketing experts will all go and have a look at it, and then go and give you tips on how to improve your Instagram if you're a business or whatever. But that kind of means that you're getting Instagram growth from this thing.
Yeah.
And you will then grow your Instagram through presenting yourself to somebody. So the blog I was writing was all about being a musician, and if you go on there and you go into one of these forums and ask a question, that's your chance to promote yourself. So you can be like, I'm this is my new mix, my Instagram's this, my question to you is, and then that will get you exposure in front of these incredible people. And what's really cool is... Can
you tell people that Tiff gets enthusiastic about things that are in her industry?
On Christmas, though...
I'm just going to stop. Carry on. Keep going.
On Christmas, though, all of the cast from the Lion King Broadway musical did the performance on the app, on the platform.
Clubhouse.
On Clubhouse. So everyone was logged in, and Hamilton held auditions for the new cast members for Broadway on Clubhouse, and they brought people into their room, and it was like an audition space. So the sound is amazing. Like, there's no lagging. There's no, like, it's really good.
Are you on commission for
Sorry.
Clubhouse or something?
No, I'm not getting excited.
No, I do love your passion and your excitement. And in short, we were just discussing this earlier.
So what we can do with the podcast.
We think that if you're listening to this and this sounds like the sort of platform or social media that interests you, we might use it in future podcasts or after a podcast to do live Q&A, live conversation, because our live podcast at New Year's was popular, and we're thinking that when we come to doing another one of those special podcasts or doing it live, we might use that platform. So we recommend people going and having a look and seeing if they can get themselves onto it.
Because what could be good is, say, our podcast goes live on a Monday morning, but we could set Monday 6 p.m. UK time. We're going to host our room. Yeah. So it's another way to get to people, and then that could be a live chat room. Yeah. Or we do it midweek, so it's not straight after the release. Like, there's so many options. Yeah. Or it could be like an after party to a live. Yeah. Whereas everyone can come in and you get to talk to people and they can ask you questions live. Nice. So you get moderators and audience and blah blah blah. It's very exciting. This, ladies and gentlemen, was based on a question I asked Tiff of, how's work this week? Oh, sorry. And we're 20 minutes in. No, that's good. And like you say, you work in social media. You do social media. I think it's really cool that you've sort of discovered and found what is a relatively new platform. Could be very, very popular. And we also, for the benefit of our listeners and who like to interact with us, we might be using it. So I don't want to see it get ruined, though, and I feel like it will be easily ruined. Like with monetization or getting people to pay to join your club. The more popular it gets, the more likely that sort of thing will happen. Yeah, so that's the thing. Interesting. Cool. Works good. Good. And how's your fitness routine going? Really good. So I just finished week 11, and week 12 is a deload week. So that means all my lifts go down to like 60%. The effort level I have to put in is a like 5 to 6 out of 10. Nice. And I only do 2 sets of everything. When you first told me about these deload weeks, because you do one every 6 weeks, right? Yeah. I thought, like, I at first was like, I'd never really heard of it and wondered, like, what is the point in this deload week? But you explained it to me 6 weeks ago. Yes. That it's just good to. It's basically a break, but without stopping entirely, so that you can recuperate and sort of prepare yourself for the next phase of your so the next fitness block comes in. So that means could be brand new exercises. So you're still moving, you're still going through the motions of doing your squat, your
So press. you don't break the routine. You still go to the gym and I think that's really important, because I think when people have worked really hard, we're still at a point where there's probably a lot of people who are sticking to New Year's resolutions or myself included, new fitness regimes. You can get to a point where you just burn out, so you stop. But when you stop the routine, that's then hard to start again. So I think it makes sense to me now. Imagine if I didn't go to the gym for a week. Like, it doesn't make sense. It makes sense for me to get up, do my first little bit on the socials, have a coffee, go out in the gym. And so even if it's easy and the workout takes half an hour and it's super simple, I'm still doing the routine, and it's prepping my body to be a little, because I've grown my lifts week on week for 5 weeks. That's a lot of pressure on a body. Yeah. And so that 6th week just kind of goes, okay, let's have a bit of a release. I normally drop quite a chunk in like weight because my muscles don't need to hold on to the water anymore. So it's like, bye. And then the next week, brand new workout set, which is normally the hardest. It is harder, but no, it's cool. And next week you go on to that, and you always enjoy a deload. I love a deload. And then I'm enjoying my cardio at the moment as well, so that's fun. Started skipping for lols. Yeah, you've got a skipping rope and you're, jumping up and down to music. Yeah. Yeah. Fun. Nice. So like we say, it has been a good week. There's been... Yeah. I have to rate my week every week in terms of my adherence to my plan. And normally I'd put myself at like an 8, maybe a 9, but actually so far this week,
it's nothing less than a 10 because I've done everything textbook, which is rare.
Good.
Unless I completely fuck up today.
You won't. We've been on a nice walk today, getting the steps in every day.
Yeah, doing well. Smashing it.
No, I know it's not always easy to stick to routines, resolutions and stuff. But we said this today on our walk. I think it's good that we go through this, that we're going through it together. Because we don't put pressure on each other, but we do hold each other accountable. Even if it's subtly to say, how are you going to get your steps in today?
Or stop eating that, you fat fuck.
Yeah, put the Kit Kat down. But it does help. It does help. Because we said you kind of started this in December, and I used December as I'm going to have a holiday.
Yeah, because this is I'm into week 12, so I started 12 weeks ago.
You know, that doesn't make it easier. It definitely does make it harder. But with the fact that we're both doing it, I think is good. And we said today we feel very fortunate and very lucky that we've got a gym in our back garden and we've got nice places to walk. So yeah, Ibiza is in a little bit of a lockdown. Some people have been asking us what's going on. It is pretty much shut down, but we, as you said, we always knew that January was going to be a month for us to kind of knuckle down and sort of do what's good for us, both physically and for our work and stuff.
And now so February's going to be like that as well.
It looks like it.
Smashing. That's
wonderful.
Okay. Yeah, cool. It's been all right. I'm happy.
Good.
We've spent 6 months in this house of ours.
Yes. So actually, it's a very good reminder, Tifla.
What, that you need to edit the vlog that went out yesterday?
There is a vlog going out on Sunday. So if anybody listens to this on the day of release, that was yesterday, where we just sort of did a little bit of a tour of the house because we've lived in it for 6 months. It's crazy. Did it feel like 6 months to you?
Oh, time has nothing now. I don't know
Time has no nothing.
Exactly. I don't know what time is anymore. Time has no... What do I mean? Bounds? If I was writing...
Do you mean like you have no
time
sense
isn't relative.
of time?
No, relativity. Time... What?
Fuck me. Again, one with the words.
I run out of words when I do my work.
Yes. When you do your work, you use them all up. You used all the words. Now, it's kind of weird because I think this whole year and all the last 12 months and all the stupid fucking lockdowns and the moving countries and stuff like that, in so many ways it feels like it was last week that we were living in Dubai. But then at other times it feels like, it feels like we've been here for years and that feels like another lifetime ago.
That's because this is home.
Well, it is home, and we talk about that on the vlog, I think, actually, in that we are truly settled and this is home. I mean, we're even like starting to decorate rooms and doing bits of DIY, and I'm preparing for spring in the garden because I know that what I sow I shall reap. Fuck. But that's the sort of thing where you go, okay, it feels like home. And I remember us doing lots of talking during the moving to Ibiza sort of podcasts and vlogs about at what point does it stop feeling like holiday and start feeling like home. And we were like, well, there never is that true moment. It's just sort of you phase yourself into it. I mean, we're 6 months in, and like I say, in some ways it feels like we've been here forever, but in other ways it only just is starting to feel like I now call it home.
We came here in the peak of summer and it was really hot, and now we've been here through the coldest. It feels like longer because I think like we've gone through most of the seasons.
Yeah.
And so that probably makes it feel like, oh, we've done a long stint here because we were here when it was really, really hot, and we were here when it's really, really cold, and there's nothing else apart from that. So that probably makes it feel like a bit longer. The only thing I am excited for is a real summer when people can come and visit and stay with us and whatever. So let's see if that happens this year. But if not, I'll lay on the beach on my own. I don't mind.
Fingers crossed. We do want people to be able to come and see us and enjoy it. And for Ibiza generally to just be open, because we said today on our walk, because it's pretty dead and quiet and sometimes it's a bit of a ghost town, is that it's easy to forget that we've moved to the world famous party island of Ibiza, which obviously we love that aspect of it. We knew that there was much more to it when we moved here. But we've kind of forgotten that that's how the island can and will be again. And we're kind of looking forward to it, but it will also be a bit of a shock when there's people everywhere again.
Yep.
I think I said this before. A place feels like home when things are like not great. And sort of like, what I mean by that is like either like the weather. When the weather's really shit, like recently we've had rain that didn't stop for 3 days and it was cold and dark and like it just felt as if it was never stopping. Those are actually times when it feels like home because you don't go anywhere and you just feel safe and sound and warm and cozy and comfortable. And you look out the window and you go, I haven't got anywhere to be. I've got nowhere to go. I wouldn't want to anyway. And it's kind of home.
Yeah. And it definitely feels like that. Because coming to or going on holiday anywhere, if it rains, what do? You're normally like sat in your room like drinking with your mates.
Yeah.
Or like running down the street because it's raining and that's funny.
Yeah, you want to make the most of that moment.
But actually, it's home when you're like, okay, I'll just put a jumper on and make a cup of tea then. You know, it's not Ibiza in the rain in the summer. Yeah. Like, you're not on holiday.
And that's the thing. It's the moments, the really hard-hitting moments to remind you you're not on holiday are the positive of that is because you are home. And that's, I guess, what winter has felt like for us. And 6 months here, like I say, it feels in some ways longer, but also it's gone by really fucking fast.
And we nailed it though. Well done us.
We have nailed it. We live here.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Lord.
I know. We're going to take a quick break now before we go into questions that we've been sent through. And before that, here is a little word from our wonderful sponsor.
The M&T Podcast, brought to you in association with Rosé Wine. Because just like M&T, Rosé goes with anything.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That was our little... I just love that. I think it's so good.
I got some comments last week. Some people spat out their coffee because they were laughing.
It's so
very much enjoyed.
Good. Thank you again, Chris Marsden. I'm going to put links again on the screen if you're watching on YouTube, or it's in the description, which you do. I hope that you add it. The show notes. Of the Marsdens. I am going to ask him this week to do a second one that is sort of like for question time.
Yeah,
and see if he can make one for
that
us.
Would be
so,
good.
Chris, if you are listening or watching, get ready. I'm going to ping you an email this week.
Nice.
Because it's just that good. I love it. It makes us sound pro, and we're really not. Anyway, welcome to the question time bit. Do you want to go first?
No,
what questions have you
first.
had? Okay. It's funny that we have sort of ended the last section talking a lot about, it feels like home now and like we've settled, we're not on holiday anymore. Because 3 of my 4 questions are very, let's say, like mature, grown-up, kind of practical questions. I'm going to be honest, I love them, great questions, and we'll answer them. I feel as if people have dialed down on the stupid questions, which
I did get
prefer.
A question from Bill this week.
I know Bill's let us down. Anything from Alice?
No. Oh, guys.
Oh, Jade?
No.
Wow. See, we either need our newer listeners to step up and go, I'm going to send a question this week, or we need our old, trusted, faithful listeners to
be better,
dig deeper, find more questions.
Yeah, go.
All right. I'm going to start with the one that's not boring and practical. But this is sort of a would you rather. Mm-hmm. Would you rather lose your keys or lose your phone?
Keys.
Well, yeah, I thought...
Imagine me losing my phone.
Well, no, do you know what?
Which
I didn't
one?
think about that. I know, because you're a 2-phone person, aren't you?
Yep.
Dodgy.
Drug dealer. You can get keys replaced a lot easier and cheaper than a phone.
I remember, like, when I started going out at night and you go to bars and pubs and clubs and things like that.
Do you?
Yeah.
When?
Well, back in the day.
Ah.
And it would, when you get drunk and I always used to have that, have I got everything on me before I sort of head home?
Leave the club.
Yeah. And it would always be keys, wallet, phone. And like, as long as you've got those on you, because there's nothing worse than losing any one of those three things. But I do feel as if keys mean less to people now than phones do. Your phone is everything. Being without a phone for a day would be, you'd be lost.
Because I don't have Google Maps
Well,
to get me around.
Literally lost.
I would literally...
You can't get an Uber to come and pick you up. You can't order anything, order food. You can't ring someone to say...
You can't ring anywhere to order food. We don't have a landline. What are we going to do?
What's a landline? Like, I think it's fairly clear. This was from Shaz.
Thanks, Shaz.
Shaz, I cannot...
Shaz Coley?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one.
And the thing is for so many people now, your phone doubles up as your wallet as well. Because you got Apple Pay. And, well, in my case, my wallet's stuck to the back of my phone. So if I lost my phone, not only would... I'd be upset. I would literally be lost. If I lost my keys, I know a way to break into my own house. So, so I'd still find shelter.
Yeah, definitely keys. So much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be annoying.
Annoying. I lost the keys to Ibiza Rocks Hotel once.
Wow, it's a good thing that you don't plan to be hired by them anytime again soon. Wow. Hopefully nobody in the manager hierarchy of Ibiza Rocks Hotel is going, hold on, what? She lost the keys to the hotel?
Well, I basically lost them. I didn't know at the time, but I'd lost them while I was in the reception of the hotel. So they were behind reception when I got up the next morning.
Oh, wow. So they hadn't gone far.
No, they hadn't gone far, but it was my phone as well. Like, I'd lost my keys and my phone.
Wow. What an absolute disaster you are.
It was a disaster. So my question from Shaz was then, hi, would you rather read a great book or watch a great movie?
Watch a great movie.
Yeah, I don't read.
I don't mind. I don't really read novels. If we're going to read anything, I read something because it's like a informative or it's a self-help or a development kind of book.
Because we don't watch development movies.
I don't think those sorts of things exist. Well, you could watch like TED Talks and stuff.
We read or listen to that stuff, but I like watching a movie. I like watching a movie, but not really watching a movie, and you're just like kind of scrolling, kind of watching. But I do miss a proper cinema. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to the cinema once last summer here in Ibiza.
Is it even a proper cinema?
It was actually a very cute little cinema. It was in San Antonio. Went with Eduardo. They do 1 day a week. They do English films in English, basically, because the majority of the rest of the time it's Spanish. Yeah. And so we went and watched a film in San Antonio cinema.
Tenet, no?
We did, and it's a proper little retro cinema. But yeah, we like the cinema, don't we? I like a good movie. I prefer immersing myself in a movie for 2.5 hours than reading a book, which would take me 2.5 months. Yeah. Because I will read a few pages and then, I don't know, I know people get obsessed or love getting lost in a book. I've just never been one of those people that can go, I can't wait to pick up that book again and get another few chapters and lose myself in a book. I just don't.
Maybe
doesn't
you've never
happen.
read a book like that.
Well, I have.
Did you ever read Harry Potter's?
No.
Oh, see, they're good.
Because
they're really good
by the time
books.
I cared, the movies were out. Movies are all right. I quite like the movies.
Yeah, but actually, the books are still a really good read.
I don't get the whole, the books are so much better.
Well, they are.
No.
Well, they are.
No, but they're not, though.
All right. Oh, well, you're going to get some stick, I think, because they are.
I'm happy to take recommendations
Harry Potter.
That's one. But it's not one, is it? There's a lot.
There's 7 books.
I'm not investing that amount of time into reading books.
Why not? You don't do fuck all else.
I know what happens at the end.
No.
What's the fucking point? I'll be like, I'm reading all of this. I know exactly what's going to happen. And all I'll be thinking is okay, this is the part where it happened in the film. But it's just the way it's all
described and like they have to set the scene so you see it in your head.
Exactly. The reason people say that the books are better is because you imagine it how you want to imagine it.
Yes.
It's the only reason
I
it's
read
actually
them all
better.
first.
I don't think if you watch the movies first, you then read the books and think that they're better. I don't think that happens. You have to read them first.
Okay.
I'm happy to take suggestions if people think there are great books that I am missing out on and I should read, but I prefer films.
Alrighty, Roo. What you got next?
All right, so we're moving on to practicality questions.
Okay,
Let's say
I've got two kind of practical questions.
This is the informative section. I had a question from Brian. How reliable are the facilities in Ibiza, such as water, electricity and Wi-Fi? The reason he asks is he's seen...
Are you sure that's not Tim in disguise?
No, definitely Brian. And Tim's been here. He knows how it works. The reason is he's obviously seen on vlogs in the past, there's been times when our water's switched off and there has recently been a power cut as well.
Oh,
so
yeah.
he was sort of asking, like, is that kind of normal?
Did anyone see the water come through our roof?
Exactly. We have leaks when it rains and...
It's not the fact that it's not reliable, it's the fact that this building is hundreds of years old or however old it is.
But I think Ibiza generally does have a little bit of a reputation of things sometimes just won't work.
Oh yeah, of course.
Generally.
It's just because it's like...
It's an island.
Ibiza, it was built from kind of nothing, and it's just... Sometimes because they're doing work in front of the house, the whole water system might go off for a couple of hours, or because we're connected to the main house, if they're doing work on something, Vicente's not going to come and tell us if he's turning the electric off. He'll just turn the electric off, and then you'll go, okay, and then I'll be like, maybe I'll do my work later then. But yeah, it's not terrible.
No, I think if you watch our vlogs and you've seen that it's happened 2 or 3 times, that is
The
2 or
only
3
times
times
it's
in
happened.
6 months that the water's been off for an hour and we've had power cuts that have lasted 5 minutes.
Here's a bit of reliability. The diesel ran out for our heating, and within the hour, Repsol were here filling up the tank because our landlord is on the ball.
We got hold of our landlord because the heating stopped working one morning. Turns out the heater had run out of oil or diesel that it runs on, and as you say, within an hour, 2 hours,
we just lit the fire,
literally
and it turned up.
A tanker rolled into our driveway, topped it up.
That is a massive plus of living on the same grounds as your
as the owner.
Because if you haven't seen a vlog or whatever, we are the casita, which is the separate little stone house that's on the same grounds as the main villa, which the owner lives in. So for us, it's great. Yeah. Though he doesn't speak any English, so my Spanish is very...
We have a language barrier,
well,
but in fairness to him, anything that's gone wrong, he's here within minutes because he walks across the drive.
And I converse pretty well.
You do very well. But I do always... This is the thing that I always do find funny, is when it rains or it's particularly overcast or windy... The internet can basically go from high-speed sort of broadband to dial-up speeds, or even switch off. But that's not just here.
Normal.
We can message our friends who live across town, or even people on a different part of the island, and everyone goes, yeah, my Wi-Fi's a bit shit right now as well.
Because it's cloudy.
Because it's raining. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And I never thought that was a thing. But I guess it's a little bit of living on a small island, and also in a culture where it's sort of like, oh, it might not work now, but it'll work later, don't worry
Which
about
I like that culture because I can use that as an excuse in my work.
Oh, mañana, isn't it? It's mañana.
I'm a really
it's
hard worker, but...
It might not work right now,
working,
but leave it for a few hours. It'll probably be working later.
Come back.
I think that kind of fits our personalities anyway, certainly mine.
Half-hearted.
I'm like, do you know what? I'll have a nap. And by the time I wake up, it's probably fixed.
Yeah, exactly.
And half the time it is.
That's funny.
What were your practical
one of mine is from Diane Brooks.
I had 2 from Diane. They're my last 2 questions.
And it was, when do you think Ibiza will open for hollybobs? Which is don't you bring up the article because actually that's been translated badly apparently.
So a badly translated article came out a couple of days ago. That suggested that tourists wouldn't be back on the island until at least end of summer. But you're saying that was misconstrued.
This misconstrued article said that no tourists can come in until 70% of the citizens and residents have been vaccinated, which would be the end of summer based on their projections. Yeah. what the truth actually is that it's nobody without a negative PCR test and a valid passport.
Yeah, which at this point is fairly standard for any travel globally right now.
Apparently, though, the PCR they're saying that it's not as good as having an actual, like a proper test thing. But I don't understand what it is.
Well, I think every country in the world is sort of learning what its tolerance level is and what sort of test you have to have and what sort of result you have to have in order for it to actually be acceptable or not.
Yeah, hit me up with a vaccine.
Yeah, we're kind of ready, aren't we?
Well,
I think at this point, I would say at this point, enough people in the world have had some of these vaccines, and there haven't really, as far as I know, there hasn't been any. It's awful. Look at what it's done.
There's no immediate effects, but there's been no ability to look at the long-term effects on things like fertility and, I don't know, growing another head in 20 years or whatever. But that's the issue. But they've obviously paid a lot to make these tests, like to be able to have these vaccines come in a lot quicker than a normal. And this is vaccine.
I don't want to get too drawn into talking COVID because we said that we wouldn't. But this is one of those things that sort of the anti-vaxxers and the panickers and the people that are like, in normal times, yes, you would be worried if a vaccine came out as quickly as this one has.
Speed.
But every single scientist in the world has been on this.
Yeah.
Every health organisation everywhere is all aiming for the same result. There's no agenda.
Yeah.
We need humanity to get moving around again. And so it might seem rushed, but I would say it's quick, but because that's everyone's priority.
It's quick because it's been funded.
Yeah.
To be quick.
Yeah.
Like, the reason things take so long is because they can't get the funding, they can't get the people to test, to do the first round of tests, to be volunteers. But what's happened this time round is money has been thrown at it to make it go quicker, to pay the scientists to do it, to get these people in to test the first batches. Like, you have to look at it that way, is that actually all resources have been put on that.
Yeah.
So it's,
And unfortunately, we haven't got the time to wait to see what it does to people in 20 years' time because, well...
No, we haven't got 20 years.
I'm not locking down for 20 years.
Oh, dear, no. Go on then.
Well, Diane clearly was on a bit of a theme. Do you know when we're getting vaccines in Ibiza?
Vaccinations have started in Ibiza. They're going around the care homes, are the most vulnerable at the moment. As for other citizens and residents, it's kind of going to roll out when they get more vaccines in. Obviously, there's a hierarchy of who gets it.
I don't know. This is just a bit of a hunch. I think mainland Spain generally has suffered more than its islands. So when Spain as a country has got hold of enough of these to start doing the general population stuff, I also don't think that we'll be high on the priority list. I don't know. I might be wrong.
Oh, well, I hope it's going to be kind of as per numbers. Like, I think it should be fair. I don't know whether it is or not.
I mean, who knows?
But like per population, you get a certain percentage.
I mean, I have no education on this, but would you not think also? Do you not think that there's a chance that they'll throw more of them at Madrid and Barcelona and get those cities up and running?
But that's not fair.
I know it's not fair.
Well, I know, but
the UK only talks about London.
Well, the UK shit. But the concentration of people there, I think it's going to be percentage per population.
I would hope so.
We'll see. We'll come back to us when that's come out.
We will definitely document the process as and when we get close to vaccines.
Yeah, definitely. Even tests.
But in terms of population, specifically us, who are we're not in any high risk bracket at all. There's not even whispers of when we'll be invited or going. I mean, it's just not happening.
But all they've said is that you need to be on the Padron,
which we are,
and have residency or proof of residency or citizenship.
Yeah. So, as and when that happens, Diane, we will let you know. We will let everybody know.
That'll be interesting, yeah.
Who knows? Last question from you?
Mine's from Emma.
Emma.
And it's for you both. If you had to set a goal for each other for 2021, what would it be?
My goal for you would be... as sort of cliche as it is, carry on doing what you're doing. You're like, your personal business and the work you're doing is going kind of from strength to strength. And I would just say, don't slow down, don't stop. You're learning more as you go. You're training yourself. You invest hours every day, but definitely every week, to not only be working but to be developing yourself, and just keep believing in yourself, keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing an amazing job.
Thanks, love.
Yeah, you're welcome. Have a bit more belief in yourself, I would say. Sometimes I think you don't know how good you are, and you'll intentionally play down how well you're doing just because that's who you are. You're modest and you're humble, but sometimes you need to know how good you are, and you are really fucking good, so just carry on doing what you're doing.
Thanks, love. I think my goal for you would just be get out on your bike more and enjoy it, because I know you will once you do it. It's obviously been cold and wet and windy, so but once spring and summer come, I won't see you.
No, you won't. I fear I will.
It'll be cool though.
I will be out there and be gone for hours.
And then you'll come back and lay on the sofa for the rest of the day.
Yeah, pretty much. But that's because I will have earned the right to.
Yes. Yeah, that would be my goal for you.
Good question, Emma.
Yeah, good one.
Question to Emma. When are you coming over here, love?
Oh, God, don't. I think she's already looking at flights, to be fair.
She'll be one of the first,
Can you wait?
I think. She'll be one of the first.
Yeah.
Last question from it, and it's quite a big one, and I'm afraid it's a little serious, but it's not serious, and the answer's quite...
Ask the question, mate.
It's the last one from Diane, who, as I say, was clearly doing her market research on Ibiza in current climates. How easy is it to move to Ibiza now because of Brexit?
Well, it's easy to move if you're not from the UK.
Well, yeah, depends on where you're coming from, Diane.
Are you Irish? Then you're fine. Yeah, moving from the UK now, you have to prove earnings of 26,000 a year, evenly, like over 12 months. And for every additional family member, it's another 500 and something euros, which is a lot of money to prove that you're earning.
Well, you can't come here without a job.
No.
I mean, it's as simple as that.
You can't just have like 26k in the bank.
Yeah.
You have to, like, for us, we had to have a certain amount of money in the bank.
While the UK was still in the EU, we could just get here, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Which is why actually we Brexit going through and things sort of forced our hand a little bit earlier, but it was easier, right?
Yes. Yeah, we had to have a certain amount of money in the bank, which was nowhere near 26k. And yeah, we got, and you just have to prove that it's in your account and it's come from a real source or whatever. But now, after Brexit, if you are British or British, I was going to say British or Scottish. If you are,
well, give it time; they'll be independent. So.
If you are British, you have to be able to prove that you earn that and have a working visa with a contract with a Spanish company.
I think something that's bitten people,
something like that,
particularly sort of people of a generation that had a bit of money and maybe bought a house out here. Even just owning a house out here isn't not enough to go, I'm just going to move there and be a resident.
Yeah, because now you can only spend 90 days in 180 here, in Spain in general, in Europe in general, in the Schengen.
Which isn't even a whole summer season. So for people that go, well, I don't want to live there, I just want to go and do a few months of working there for a summer, you can't even do that now.
Not without a proper
Not for the whole summer.
Which a bar is not going to bother doing. No. They're going to have Irish. Yeah. Irish will win. Basically,
yeah. Certainly what we're seeing here is their priority. The local companies, when they're thinking, who am I going to hire for the summer? They're going to take local people who are here already because they don't have to do any paperwork for that. Yeah. Or they're going to take people that aren't British passports. So you get
other European, like Irish.
Because they can just bring them in and
French,
you can work here.
Whatever.
So it's still possible. I mean, I think it's worth pointing out that people that want to move here, you just need to make sure that you can prove that you've got the income.
Also, check the government website because, you know.
Oh, God, please don't. Yeah. Oh, for goodness sake. Can you imagine someone ends up at like passport control and goes, listen to this podcast. M&T said, as long as I've got this. Yeah, we are not pros at this at all, but, and I'm not going to take any credit for this, Tiff is very, very, very good at doing research and then doing more research and then doing research into whether her research was good. So she knows her shit. And that's the reason why we got...
researching.
You are, you're very good. You're wonderful on Google. It's the reason we got here when we did. We made the call to get here probably a little bit quicker than we initially planned. It was always the plan, but maybe not in 2020. But Brexit forced our hand and got us here. And I'm, do you know what? It probably hasn't sunk in how lucky we are to have got here when we did. Because we would not be able to do what we're doing now, have the lifestyle and make the decisions that we did had we waited 6 more months. We just wouldn't be able to. So we're lucky, and I guess I wish luck to anybody else who is thinking of doing a similar thing.
Yeah. We've met a few people this year who have moved out this year and literally like the same week as us, and we've managed to meet these people, and we all feel very lucky and very grateful that we've been able to do it. And yeah, it's tough, but I think if you really want to do it, I think you will, and that's the main thing. You'll make it happen no matter what, and I guess you have to kind of manifest it that way.
Honestly, I just say, I know it's changed. The goalposts have been moved and stuff, but if like us, ours was a dream regardless. We would have just had to have found another way.
Yeah.
If you want to do it, you can do it. But you've just got to sit down and go, if this goal of moving to Ibiza, which for us is our favourite place in the world, it's where we saw ourselves living and for the rest of our lives, hopefully, we would have found a way anyway. And so you just got to sit down and do the admin. Do the research and go, well, have I got to change my job? And if I've got to change my job, do I need to change it now? Or can I wait another year? How much money will I have? And what kind of job will I have? Can my job transfer? Figure it out and you'll find a way. Yeah,
definitely. I agree. Nice question to end with.
It was a good question. I know they're very practical. I hate to think that, we're a source of consumer knowledge.
Would you rather, though?
The would you rathers are good.
So make sure to send us questions for next week's pod. 35 is kind of a...
34.
34, it's not significant at all.
The emoji, only because we talked about it for quite a while today.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to say do the needle emoji for a vaccine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
That's the one I thought.
God, we're so in sync.
Yeah. Send us a... congratulations to everybody who sent us pirate flags.
Yeah, we did well. And actually, just do it again. I'm gonna find all the people that sent. If you don't send me a needle, send me a needle.
Well, you're going to reach out to every listener.
I'm not going to reach out. I'm going to look at who sent me them last week. I'm just going to scroll back to my messages.
Do you know what? Shall we guarantee a shout out for everybody who sends one?
Yeah, good idea.
There's a thought.
Oh, I was going to say guarantee a shot.
Well, do you know what? It is Ibiza, and if you end up here, I can find a shot of something for you.
I meant us on the pod.
Every single person who sends us a syringe needle emoji.
Dodge.
At some point in the coming week, in any format, whether you send it as a comment on the YouTube, a DM to us, a message if you've got our numbers, however you send it, we are going to give you a shout out on next week's pod.
Yeah, your Insta tags going out there.
Yeah.
Or your,
be prepared to be flooded by literally a few
3
more followers.
Oh, well, thank you so much for joining us. How do you feel at the end of the pod?
This is why I like the pod.
It's kind of uplifting, isn't it?
It is. I know that sometimes we talk quite serious
People ask
but
us why we do it, and it's actually just the feeling at the end.
I've always said,
Gin.
if it got to a point where nobody was listening anymore, and we'd probably still do this. We've done it for 33 consecutive weeks, love.
Never missed a beat.
We've never missed one.
Lovely.
And I love doing them. So thank you for a great conversation. Thank you for tuning in, everybody who has.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you in advance for sending through your emoji, and we'll see you next week.
The next week is the end of January, everyone. Look forward to it. It's over.
Yeah. On to February, which will be no different.
Yep. All right then.
Bye.